Heary. The Simhead All Pro Football 2K13 League 10 Commandments are now upon us. Those that cannot abide by the 10 Commandments will be banished for all eternity from the lands of prosperity and Simheadness. The first and most important commandment of All Pro Football 2K13, thou shalt not cheateth. Thou shalt not lieth to try to get an advantage on this opponent. Meaning, thou shalt not exit the team to create an advantage. Thou shalt not act like he is sicketh, so he won't have to play his game. Thou shalt man up and play like a true sim gamer. The second commandment, everybody must add everyone that's in the league on your friend list. Man, that's crazy. I don't got enough room on my friend list. Man, I ain't doing that, man. That's stupid. Shut up. Quiet. This will be done or you will be banished. We will start with these 6 fine men because they have gave their personal time to help you peasants. The third commandment deals with the fabric of your uniform. Thou shall not change the uniform throughout the season. Once you start the season with a uniform code, you must continue to use that uniform throughout the entire season and throughout the playoffs. Only once the new off season begins can you change the uniform. This is important for recognition, for people can remember who the hell you are. This is an important thing that some of you might not understand, and it's not for you to understand. It's for you to abide by the rules. Moving on. Alright, enough of that, man. Use my regular voice. So our teams will not get old. What we're gonna do is, look, this is all pro football. This is not the NFL. This is not the NBA. We don't have a draft over here. What we're gonna do is have like an off-season scouting season. This is when you have a chance, kind of like how real pro football teams do it. They go out and they find talent in the area. And once you find somebody that you think will fit your team, you bring them in, work them into your system. You get to bring in 1 gold, 1 silver, 1 bronze. So 3 new players a year. And every season we're gonna have this like an off season, have like a month or so before the next season start. This is your time for you can tweak your team, try your new players out, see which ones you're gonna keep, and then the ones you don't want to keep, it might be an old, like say with me, like if I found another linebacker that's better than Predator, or I found another wide receiver or running back that's real good, and I cut Predator. Predator goes to the free agency list. So now people can pick Predator up off the free agency list. And now I have a new guy, a new goal to replace him. So, yeah, this way the free agency list starts to fill up and it stays fresh. And we kind of doing our own thing. It's not like we're not copycatting off the NFL. And honestly, this is how a lot of expansion teams and stuff, this is how they do it. They find local talent. They don't really have a draft. But we have rules to the free agency market too. Let's get into that. Now, when you pick up a guy, you must make him the same size, the same weight, height, and give him the same abilities. So, and the rule goes into effect. If somebody had a goal running back for 4 years, and you plan on picking him up, now he only has 1 more year to be a gold, or if you want to keep him for long on your squad, you have to bump him down into a silver. So if somebody have a running back for 5 years that's a gold, and he cut him, only way you can pick this guy up, you're going to have to make him be a silver. And you have to give him 2 of the 3 abilities he used to have. So it's on you if you pick up somebody else. And the owner of that player, the original player, if we see that the guy who picked him up has changed his abilities or whatever, boom, that's a fine. The guy automatically gets cut off your team, and you have to forfeit a game. You have to lose a game. Trades are real simple. Gold for gold, silver for silver. Well, hello. What we on the 5th commandment right now, just in case if somebody lost track. But like I said, trades, you get gold for a gold, silver for a silver, bronze for a bronze, and it still apply. If you trade somebody a rookie gold, and he trades you a gold player that's been in the league for 3 years already, you got to keep that in mind. Okay, this dude's already been in the league 3 years. How am I gonna have him as a gold for so many more years? What am I gonna do with him? So if a guy comes to your team, his lifespan stays the same. It don't like restart once you trade for him or you pick him up off free agency. Remember that, people. All right, we're on the 6th commandment. I'm doing good. I'm about at the 6-minute mark. All right, for this is kind of complicated, but it's really not. All right, for generics, you know how some people have a good generic and some generics that people prefer to have on their team. If you want to make sure you're the only person that can have this generic, what you have to do is put a generic tag on them. It's kind of like a franchise tag. So what you do is you say, okay, I'm claiming this generic. You make that generic like I like this D lineman Page right here. He was on my Dragons team last year, and I mean he made a lot of plays. He actually made more plays than my DN that I created. So if I wanted to, I could create another D tackle Page and just have 2 pages on my team. They don't have to have the same first name, but I can have 2 pages on my team, and now nobody else can have this page. If somebody else is caught with this page on their team, they get it's a fine. You have to lose your next 2 games. You can win the games and get your stats, but it's still gonna go as a loss in your wins and loss columns to those teams. So this is called the generic tag. And that's the deal on that. So San Antonio, if you want to keep your DN, if you don't want nobody else to have your DN and you want them all to yourself, hey, put a franchise tag on them. Now you get to have 2 DNs. One will be a real generic and one will be a made up generic, and nobody else can have that generic. So that's the reward. You get to have 2 for franchising them, and the other rewards you get is nobody else can't have them on their team. So y'all look into that. Okay, let's get into number 7. Kick the ball off, people. Kick the ball off so it's returnable. Don't kick the ball off to the sideline all the time. The only time you can kick the ball to the sideline is inside the 2-minute warning. That's real self-explanatory. Like inside the 2-minute warning before halftime and before the end of the game, you can squib kick or whatever you want to do. But during the regular game, kick the ball off so we can get some return, so we can have some exciting plays. All right. Number 8 commandment, the fade route. You can only run the fade route with the outside receiver. You can run it with the inside receiver. Like if you have 2 receivers on one side, you can run it with the inside receiver. But the outside receiver, you can only run the fade route inside the 20, inside the red zone. So like inside the 20 going into the end zone to score. If y'all don't know what the red zone is, that's the only place you can run that fade route. All right. Y'all know what I'm talking about when you manually make your guy do that fade. Okay, number 9. No more than 2 teams in the same city. We don't want to have 7 teams in Tallahassee or 7 teams in New York. We want to have, you might have 2 teams. The only reason why I want to have 2 teams in the city, so now you can have that rivalry there, the battle of the city every year. But so that'll create rivals. But I don't want to have more. So if 2 people are already in the city, you got to find a new city. If only 1 person there, you come, okay, that's 2. But I'm not going to make people play for cities. I'm just doing first come, first serve on that. All right. So now we're at the last commandment, and this is a big one. This is the one I think is going to give our league a lot of life. This is the 10th commandment. All right. Players need to have a lifespan. If you have a lifespan, that's what makes it more critical for you to win like this season. Because if your guy can't play forever, he has to get it done soon. If you want to put a championship trophy in his hands, you got to win, and you only have so many years to win. And your guy can only play at a high level for so long, and it will start to decline. So what I'm proposing is you have 3 options: a 6, a 7, and an 8. This will get kind of tricky. That's why I did the first commandment first: thou shalt not lie and cheateth. So I mean, I will be checking, but we got to have an honor code here to help this run smoother. All right. What we're going to do is you got a 6-year, 7-year, and an 8-year. To me, the 6-year has the most value because your guy can be a gold for 4 years and a silver for 2 years. So he can play at a high level as long as he's on your team. But after that 6-year, he must be retired. All right. You can do a 7-year deal. The 7-year deal, your guy has 5 years as a gold, 1 year as a silver, 1 year as a bronze. So he's around the organization for a little longer, but that last year, that bronze year, he might just be trying to hang in there just to try to get a championship ring. So now we have the 2 longest ways you can do it. You have the 8-year. The guy can be in the league for 8 years. How you can do this is he can be a gold for 4 years, and then he can be a bronze for 4 years. I mean, if you really like a guy and you want his legacy to live on for a long time, you might want to keep him around for a bronze for 4 years. Just, you know what I'm saying, just to show him love from the organization. And this is the other 8-year plan. I think you get the most value out of this plan. I could be wrong, but you can have your guy silver for 6 years, and then you can have him a bronze for 2 years. So those are the lifespans of the players. Y'all understand the rules. If you got any questions, leave them in the comment box down below. Let's get it going, baby. All pro football where football lives. The fish game for real niggas and cool ass white boys.